This film does not deserve its 56% or 50% or whatever rating it was right now on Rotten Tomatoes. Doesn't deserve it. From my opinion, doesn't deserve it. It should be way up. Where are we going?
About to go movies or not? Do not take your kids to watch this movie. I like magic.
What the fuck did we just watch?
Half of the fucking movie is about the Joker.
Huh?
But yeah, it's a decent movie.
Hi everyone, I'm Ronan Unchained. I just got back from watching Eternals, the newest Marvel Studios film directed by Chloe Zhao, with an amazing cast, and this was bonkers, freaky in the best way possible. This is the best MCU film of the year for me thus far. It went freaky and weird. It went more mythological, and it was more about the characters that I cared about than the actual plot itself. Even though the plot itself is fascinating with the context, I'm like, oh, okay, it doesn't feel like the same routine with superheroes and whatnot. I dug this movie. Now, some characters are more highlighted and there's more of a story arc with them and you spend more time with them, and some others have something inside that you find fascinating like I did. But still, this group of Eternals was fascinating. I dug him. This movie looked beautiful. I still don't know how this will affect the future of the MCU, or at least planet Earth, I should say. But I am intrigued and want to see Eternals 2. That's as much as I can say about it in non-spoiler review. For what the time of the cast is shown, each actor / character shown, I was engaged with them, I was intrigued with them, I wanted to know more about them. Go check it out. I would put it 20% more or 30% more higher than it is right now rated. I don't know what it's the rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but I say this, go seek it out. It is worth price of admission for you to go check out and make your own assumptions or your own opinion about it. And I say this one is to go try out, most definitely. Okay, now spoiler stuff. So this started off with a crawl that was very much felt like Blade Runner-ish, which I dug. Eternals are sent here to defend planet Earth from deviants, but it's the Celestial, Charmish or whatever his name is behind it all, and he just wants to make another Celestial from planet Earth and just grow it out more. It doesn't matter who it kills in this planet. And there's this conflict of revelation of like, was this our mission the whole time? Just to nurture another Celestial and kill a whole population? And there's mixed feelings about it within the team, within the Eternals. And Icarus kills Ajak. I believe that's somehow his character name. And I didn't really see that coming until like minutes before it happened. I'm like, wait, oh snap, did he do that? And I liked how freaky it got and how weird it got, and it didn't feel like a usual superhero film. At least for me, it didn't. What will, for me, be like, it's too similar is that it's just another end of the world scenario. Where after Infinity War and Endgame, I think that it's bring it down a bit. At least for me, it's my opinion about it. And the end credit scene, there's two of them. There's the second one that's about Kit Harington and how he's black-eyed and how that's gonna be teased up for the MCU, I suppose. And the first end credit scene with Thanos' brother, which I was just like, what the? And at the end of the film, the Eternals who decide to stand up for humanity and defend it get taken by the Celestial, who ordered them to go there to protect Earth. Tells them like, well, I'll come back for judgment. And Thanos' brother Star Fox, I believe, says, oh boy, your friends are in trouble, to the Eternals who decide to go find out more Eternals who are scattered throughout the universe, throughout the galaxy, and tells them, your friends are in trouble, but I know where to find them. I'll say that there's a sex scene in it. It's not shown all the way, but you could tell there, and I was like fascinated and be like, wow, this is not, we don't usually get this, and there's a little bit of maturity there. I'm like, cool, okay, that's relatable. One of the Eternals is gay, and I'm like, cool, okay, we don't get that all the time. Cool, that feels fresh. Shout out to the cast. Gemma Chan as Cersei, Richard Madden as Icarus, Salma Hayek as Ajax, Kumail Nanjiani as Kingo, Barry Keoghan as Druig, Leah McHugh as Sprite, Don Lee as Gilgamesh, Lauren Ridloff as Makari, Brian Tyree Henry as Fastos, and Angelina Jolie as Athena, and Kit Harington as Black Knight, basically. To me, the standouts out of them were Athena, Icarus, Sprite, Kingo. There are moments of Druig who like is determined about his beliefs and whatnot, and which I found fascinating. Makari, she's really fast, and from a visual point of view, the way she uses her powers is probably the best in the whole film. Tied with Athena, with Angelina Jolie, who's just a fierce warrior. Them two are tied up. I don't know who has the best action moments in the film, but holy, whoo, the speed with this one, whoo, it is amazing. Kumail Nanjiani, it felt like you knew more of how he lived in this world and what he decided to do with his life in planet Earth. I found fascinating. I'm like, cool, good for him. Salma Hayek, in terms of the film, you understand what her arc was, but in terms of spending time with her, we didn't, which is a plus and a minus, because I wanted to spend time more with her character more. But you see what she decides to do as the leader of the Eternals after knowing what their real mission was to do, and how she decides to turn on it. Be like, I care for these people too much. I've grown attached to these humans, that even though they're not perfect, they should have the right to just choose their fate for themselves, to have free will and all that stuff. And the fact that the Eternals were programmed like replicants, if you will, from Blade Runner, I found that extremely fascinating. Again, each character had a moment. More were spent time more with. Like even like someone like Sprite, you were like wanted to see, why is she this way the whole time? And you see this moment of her pretending to be an older woman, and you feel bad for her that she remains as a kid, even though she's lived thousands of years now. And what she goes through in the film, I found fascinating, and I just wanted to spend more time with these characters. The best thing about this film is how much I care for these characters, how much I want to know more about them and spend time with them, and how good looking this movie was, and how celestial stuff looked bonkers. They honored Jack Kirby visually from that point of view. Chloe Zhao, I give her props. She swung for the fence. She said this is a big risk for the MCU at this point where they're at. I agree with her, but I'm okay with it. After Infinity War and Endgame, swing something like this. But again, it's the whole end of the world thing where it's like, alright, we've seen that so many times, especially this year itself, which could be detrimental, if you will, but I don't think it warranted that much, because how much I cared about these characters and how for me, the chemistry between all of them, cool. I'm in. I was with them all the way. I wanted to hear everybody's thoughts about the matters that were going around. Moments with Celestials talking to the Eternals, who are like specs like this compared to how they are visually. Those moments were like, I was like, what the hell? Seeing on a big screen is worth it. I recommend you go see it in the biggest screen you have near you. Go see it there. What Angelina Jolie goes through as Athena, the psychological effects, that was intriguing. Icarus, what his beliefs and what he cares for is a big conflict, which I found fascinating. 2 hours and 37 minutes. I can understand people be like, it's too long and whatnot. To me, I felt it during the third act with the volcano parts, but I was engaged the whole time. I was just like, oh wow, these characters are weird and fascinating. I want to spend time more with you. Let's teach me more about your culture, about where you come from and what you know of each other and whatnot. That's the cool thing about this movie. I recommend this film. It's wacky. I don't think it's perfect, but I really was intrigued with it, engaged with it, and want to know more about the lore of the Eternals, and waiting for them to return. Like I said at the end, Eternals will return. I can't wait to see what they do, and will they interact with superheroes of the MCU? They mention them, but will they? I don't know. If you dug this review, subscribe to the channel, grow it out more, like it, and I will see you in the next video.